Scanning for audio.
Welcome once again to a Tin Dog podcast. This time we're talking about the third Doctor adventures, the Quintessence, which marks the 10th anniversary. I know, 10 years of Tim Trelaw being John Pertwee's third Doctor. It's got Cybermen. I know. Right, okay, so I've skipped ahead there. Katie Manning's in this, but it's Katie Manning playing Jo Jones, not Jo Grant. This is the older, wiser, and just damn brilliant Jo. Because she's still the same person, but she's just got a more life experience and she's much more confident, and she just rocks. But before we go down that road, let's have a bit of a synopsis. The Doctor and Jo arrive at Always, a Victorian manor house perched impossibly on a distant storm world of Nethara Reach. Greeted by the peculiar Pepperdines, a couple frantic with worry about their ailing daughter, they discover terrible secrets hiding within the panelled walls and gruesome oil paintings. Secrets that will bring the Doctor face to face with one of his most ancient and implacable enemies, but his relationships with Jo, which will put his relationship with Jo to the ultimate test. Now we know the Cybermen are back, big from the illustration, but not from this synopsis. And if this was on TV and you didn't know, you'd get to the end of an episode and go, oh my god, it's the Cybermen, that's brilliant, oh, fantastic. But obviously you've got to incorporate that kind of thing into the advertising, so we all knew. This is the Mondas Cybermen. The whole story opens with Jo having kind of a strange dream, which gives the location that they have to visit in the TARDIS, which takes you to this strange house discussed in the original synopsis. And eventually, through no fault of anybody's, they all end up on Mondas. But this is all taking place in the 40th century. Here's the issue. For anyone going, but it's Doctor Who, doesn't this happen in 1986? But that planet must be destroyed, but that's destroyed earlier, and blah, 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 blah. Right, A, we don't care. B, it's space travel, probably time travel, and you spend the whole story with that in the back of your head going, but how do you get from the 40th century back to... Doesn't matter. None of this matters, because the Mondas in this story is terrifying. I mean, it is absolutely the one that's hinted at in the other stories, but here we have something so dark, so impenetrably awful, that you kind of understand the Cybermen in a way that you don't really get to experience it elsewhere. Elsewhere, it's hinted at that the Cybermen are kind of, oh yeah, we're a bit like the Borg, we've just... No, this is so much darker, grubbier, more desperate. These are the Cybermen who had no choice but to convert themselves, and it hurt. There's a description halfway through of what the Cybermen have done to themselves with their flesh and with their eyes and with their voices that will stick with you for the longest of times. And that's because this story has been written by some people who really know what they're doing on the horror front. They know just which bits of language to use, which bits to tweak, which words to select, just to put you on edge and give you a mental image that makes you go, ew. There's a family torn apart. There's a daughter who may or may not have psychic powers. It's just plain incredible. It's a 6-part story, and boy is it heavy going, but oh my god, you will love it. And as I said last time I was listening to the 8th Doctor while decorating, well, I listened to this while I was finishing off, and my god, it's a big, dobbin, massive story, but you know what? I loved it. I truly, truly loved it. It was atmospheric. And yes, the Cybermen were not caricatures, because there is stuff going on with the emotions, with certain specific Cybermen characters that will stay with you for a very long time. Performance-wise, implacably good. The person playing the mum in this was actually in the TV series My Hero, which I remember quite enjoying, and I know a lot of people have got mixed emotions connected with that, but performance-wise, she was always good. She held the whole programme together when it was quite thin as a premise. Let's face it, it was basically Mork and Mindy on Earth. So, but UK, you know what I mean. Right, enough about that. I'm going to play the trailer and you can decide for yourself as always. But this is 10 years of Tim. And here we see a third Doctor that we've not really experienced before. Someone more timid, but it's still true to the character. And that's a testimony to Tim's performance, because he's taken the third Doctor, the way that John portrayed the third Doctor, and then managed to expand it and still remain true to the original. And that is a true gift for us as listeners, because it is so terrifying to experience. And with that, here is the trailer. Be seeing you.
There was something else. In the dream, I mean. A sort of feeling like something was going to happen. Something bad. Like something was coming.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, The Third Doctor Adventures, The Quintessence.
Joe, Nethara Reach is a storm world light years away from the nearest Earth colony. So?
What is a Victorian manor house doing smack bang in the middle of it?
Exactly.
Well, let's find out, shall we?
I can see it even when I close my eyes. I see it in my dreams.
Watch out!
Doctor, it's fine.
You will be like us.
Isn't it difficult being all alone out here?
But we haven't been alone, not really. The angels are with us.
It gets hard to know what's real and what I've only dreamt.
Angels?
Did they send you to us, Joe?
I've only done what I had to do to save her life.
Watching over us.
One of the most dangerous creatures in the universe.
Big Finish, for the love of stories.
Human life is short. The Cybermen will correct this.
That was the Doctor Who Tin Dog podcast, available on iTunes, YouTube, Twitter, RSS, Vimeo, and across the internet. Doctor Who and its associated properties are all copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. Why not become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/tindog. Contact the show on tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. The Tin Dog podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.